At the beginning of the end of the American rancher, lobbyists successfully sneaking a $15 million piece into the House's latest omnibus bill to start electronically tagging all cattle in the United States.
Guys, we're going to get right into it. I'm just out here checking on my swarm trap up in the tree there. We're going to collect local bees. That's how Doug and Stacy do their honeybee keeping here on the farm. We always collect local bees. They're the healthiest, happiest bees. They overwinter the best. I'm encouraging you that if you had buying bees on your mind, that you abandon that and you learn how to put up a swarm box and you catch local bees that have been acclimated to your area, that aren't being trucked all around the country and dying to get to you. We're killing pollinators for your convenience. Oh yeah, I said it. So please don't do that. Just collect local swarms. We have videos on it. Me and Dr. Leo have the most watched bee videos on YouTube. So we put all that information out for you guys to try to help you along. But what we're going to talk about right now, though, is the cattle industry, because the omnibus bill just passed, okay? And I don't know if you guys are paying attention to this, but you remember what Nancy Pelosi said?
It's going to be very, very exciting. But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
So that's exactly what happened this time. We had to pass the bill so we could see what was in it. Now Thomas Massie started talking about it right off the bat, because hidden inside of the bill, the omnibus bill, was this.
What are they up to?
Well, you know, the left wants to ban cattle, and before you can ban anything, you need a registry. You need to know where it's at and who owns it, and that's why they want to tag cattle. We've seen it happen in Europe. Now, on the right, you've got some cronies who stand to make some money from these ear tags. They're the ones who get the $15 million earmark. It doesn't go to USDA. It's going to, quote, stakeholders. That is a code word for private entities are getting a handout, and what they'll do, they'll verticalize the industry with this. The big corporations, you know, you just talked about China. There are 4 corporations control meat processing in the United States. One's owned by China, one's owned by Brazil. American ranchers will be working for those organizations if this tracking goes through, because they'll verticalize the industry.
Chad, what's your response to this tracking of cattle? Are you concerned as well?
Oh, yes, I am. It is the key that opens the door to the end of independent producers across the country. And it is a private property rights issue that we really have to consider here. When we start talking about RFID, EID, and data monitoring of farmers and ranchers and their cattle herd size, we open up to the door to what is going on in the European Union. And under the rules of sustainable development, we know that the RFID has led to land seizure in the name of climate change. So once we open that door, there's no going back, and they can come and they can monitor, measure, report, and verify everything that's going on your farm or ranch. And then maybe down the road, in the name of climate change, they can come and dictate to you the rules of their production, which are subjective from a third-party verification, and it is extremely dangerous to private property rights. This is a liberty taker, not a liberty maker.
Chad, I'm going to stay with you. How did you hear about this $15 million that was shoved into this omnibus bill for this electronic tracking? How did you find out about it?
Yeah, well, we've been at RCAF USA. We have been monitoring the situation for a long time. But the way I independently found out about it was Congressman Massey's tweet here a couple of weeks ago, and I was taken aback and put me in a frenzy, and so that's how we heard about it, first and foremost.
Thomas, you're not a wilting wallflower. You're a guy with a big voice in Congress. I have to imagine that you were talking to your colleagues going, this is a really bad idea. If you're concerned about censorship, you should be concerned about this. And the fact is, they didn't listen to you? They still put it in?
No, this is central bank digital currency for cattle. If you don't have a good social credit score or an environmental score, they will shut you down. They will not let you sell their cattle when they run them through their electronic tracker at the sale yards. And it is a private property issue. They're going to dictate how you manage the water on your farm, how far your fences are off the ground, and whether your cattle have received one of dozens of vaccinations. They will start dictating this to farmers.
Unbelievable. Thomas, man. Oh, good.
No, I was just shaking my head.
Thomas.
Gentlemen, I'm shaking my head. You can't see me, but I'm shaking my head and not cursing. Not cursing.
Organize and fight
can't make
back.
it up.
Thomas Massey, Shad Sullivan, thanks for being with us. You know, Dagan, we
Thank
talk
you.
about the Uniparty. This is an example of the Uniparty.
Knew this was going to pass in the omnibus bill. They already had all the ear tags waiting and ready to go. They put a word out to all the ranchers that by such and such a time in the very near future that all of their cattle are going to have to start displaying the ear tags.
USDA come down on Friday is they have said that within 6 months, all sexually intact cattle, I mean all cattle, all beef cattle, every kind of cattle, are going to have to be mandatory ID'd, EID tagged. It has to be a visible tag and electronically visible tag, and it's going to be on all cattle, basically all breeding cattle, so our calves and yearlings are okay.
Leave a comment down below. Do you think tracking the cattle in America is a good idea? Do you think the extra burden on the ranchers is a good idea? Do you also think that something nefarious is going on? Why all of a sudden are we tracking all the cattle in America? Also, at the same time, they're kind of coming out with this bird flu story, right? Which is total hogwash. I just want you guys to understand the manipulation that we're being put under is on a whole nother level. All right, share this video with your friends. Hope you found this information, you know, informative, because that's what we're here to do. We're here trying to help you guys out with your food, water, and shelter. And I'm trying to let you guys know that there is a plan in place. None of this stuff is happening organically. This stuff has been in books, and I'm going to share it on the next video. This stuff has been in books, it's been written about, and it's being implemented right before your very eyes, and they don't care if you don't want it. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? They don't care if you don't want it. Just ask the ranchers, because they were all against it. And you heard them, but one of my videos coming up this week is going to be about the food manufacturers in America, because you heard them. There's only 4. And I'm going to break that down coming up. All right? Share this video with your friends so they can understand what's going on with the beef, because this really could turn into a problem in just, you know, a few short years. A few short years. Before you get out of here, you know what else was hidden in that bill? An LGBTQRSTUV elderly center and a lot of other things having to do with that stuff. They're just cramming stuff in there. In history, like if you go back and read the founding fathers, they said that once you realize that you can vote your way into the treasury, it's game over. And that's what you guys are seeing right before your very eyes. All right? LGBTQ senior citizen nursing homes with your tax dollars. Okay? See you on the next one.